We interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast.
Boom! Headshot!
Hey, it's Clay. Welcome to another League of Legends video. This is kind of a first time video that I've never done something like this before, but I've been wanting to try something like this and just see how it would be received. Basically what I want to do is I want to watch a replay of a video. This actually was a game that was taken from my stream. And it was a ranked game playing with my friend Dave Snowbaka, who is a fantastic Lulu player. But most of the videos that I've posted in my Y-Buys and such are all games in which I do quite well. But this was a game where we didn't do quite well, and I'm just going to come out and tell you guys we actually lost this game in the end. This game was a game that we lost. So the objective here is to take a look at a game where things didn't go quite as perfectly as I had thought, and try to really analyze the game and look for mistakes in ways in which I can improve my play. It's hard to really improve in a game in which everything goes quite well. It's hard to get better when you feel like you're the man. So the idea here is to watch this game in which we lost and go ahead and try to figure out ways in which we can improve, just to find little tidbits, kind of explain some things that are going through my mind, and just really try to make sure that I do what I can to improve. So first things first, going against Miss Fortune Taric. Let's just kind of talk about that matchup against Lulu Kate. Miss Fortune Taric has much stronger all-in potential. If they go all-in on me, they're going to do much better. Whereas Lulu and I have a ton of range and we have a ton of poke. So the idea here in this lane is to really try to maximize my poke. So Lulu actually flashed right there, was concerned about I think a Miss Fortune double up, followed by some auto attacks. We actually see this Jarvan coming, but right there you can see I actually do get knocked up and stunned. So definitely something I could have improved from right there would be to really make sure that I would have gotten out of the way there. But right there, oh my goodness. How did that... Okay, she did end up dying there. That was crazy. I really actually thought... I want to watch that one more time and see exactly what happened. Because that was nuts. So this was... So basically... Okay, so right here, let's just pause it and think about what's happening. So we see Jarvan coming in. I know Taric's in this brush. I gotta run away. So start running away. Now, one thing that I could be doing right here is kiting. I should be attack moving. Miss Fortune is all the way back here. Taric is right here. He's not in range to stun me. If I run towards Jarvan and auto-attack him while I'm running towards my turret, that would have been a much better use of my time. But instead, I just tuck tail and run. Right here, I see Jarvan's flag toss go down. I know that Jarvan's mechanic is if I am in range of his flag when he cues towards it, then I'll get knocked up. You can also see that Taric is stunning. So you can see I am auto-attacking Jarvan here, but I need to get away from this flag. I need to be anticipating it and trying to get away from it. Because you see, I do get knocked up there. Now in this situation though, I do the right thing. You can see I'm not running past my turret. I'm standing here auto-attacking. So trying to auto-attack whoever is getting low. See Taric, Miss Fortune. I could have done a better job of really focusing Miss Fortune. Watch this right here. She gets so low. Oh, it actually was the minion that got the kill. Okay, that makes sense. Now watch. Now see right here. I don't have vision, so I could have. I really don't think that I could have gone after this. You can see that they're still kind of hanging around, but so overall, I think I did the right thing at this point. But just a couple things I could have done. I could have done a better job attack moving there towards the end of that fight, or the beginning of the fight, and towards the end of the fight. I could have done a better job. Also, I could have done a better job focusing. I got a couple shots off onto Taric before I got onto Miss Fortune. I could have probably killed her a little more quickly if I would have just focused her right away. So definitely a couple things I could have improved on. But overall, that was pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with that. Able to really turn that gank around with some help from the turret. One of the things that you really have to realize when you're playing some of these lower level skirmishes, you know, levels 1 through 4 or 5 really, is that minions and turrets do a ton of damage at these lower levels, and it's very important to realize that. So yeah, now we're back to lane. I just used my Q on the wave there, and one thing to know about, just kind of a quick note about someone like Caitlyn, she can actually burn through her mana relatively quickly. So you need to be mana conscious. But on the flip side, if you're sitting at 100 mana, that is a waste. There's no reason, I mean, you're wasting mana regen that you could be using. There's no reason to actually sit there and let that mana regen go to waste. So one of the things that I heard, and I think is a pretty good rule, is that you can actually, you can see right here, getting some nice pot shots on a Miss Fortune, but you can actually try to keep your mana within about 80 within about 20 to 25% of your health. So if you have a ton of health, you want to have your mana at about 75 or 80% total. If you're at about 50% health, you want to have your mana at about 40%. You want your mana and your health to kind of coincide. If you're low on health, it's also good to be low on mana. But if you look at this Taric, he's about half HP and going lower because I'm shooting him, but definitely want to make sure to try to keep those things kind of synced. It's kind of the general idea there. And at this point in time, I'm really just trying to keep the lane shoved in their direction. One of the things that shoving the lane does for you is that it gives you minions, and like I was saying, minions do a ton of damage early on, so I really think that it's beneficial to have the minion advantage. We could have stayed a little bit longer, but we decided to go back. Lulu especially was a little bit low, and Taric has a lot more support with his heal, whereas Lulu just has a shield. So we come back to lane. I've got a Vamp Scepter and some pots, and I do run 4% Lifesteal Quints, so I have a metric ton of sustain, which is going to be very, very nice to have against this team. Now at this point, the biggest things I need to be concerned about is all-ins. If Taric runs at me with a stun and Misfortune gets an Q auto, followed by some W shots on me, we're going to be in trouble. It's very difficult to trade effectively with the Misfortune just because she can do quite a bit of damage. And I want to be trying to auto-attack and poke her as much as I can. You can see Lou and I are actually right there. If she wants to go in for these last hits, she's going to get zoned. So this is very effective zoning from Lulu and I, even though I did miss that creep. Very, very effective zoning. This is exactly what we need to be doing. If Taric isn't here, we really need to be making them pay. You can see Volibear's coming in for a gank. Now at this point, I really want to make sure I'm not pushing the lane. I only want to last hit and try to last hit as slowly as possible. I want the lane... There are a lot of range minions, so it's going to be hard. But I want to give Volibear a chance to go in. So here he's going in. He's actually going to... We're going to burn a flash. I think we burned Taric's flash, which is just fine. So that was definitely successful. Good job right there. And now this is a good point to really start shoving the lane. Under the enemy tower is a fantastic time to be poking at them, especially with Caitlyn. It's very easy for her to auto-attack them and not get in turret range. Especially if we're Misfortune standing right now, it's very easy for me to get in and poke at her. So right now, I'm just standing here. There's no reason for me to be standing here. Right here, that's what I need to be doing. I need to be poking at Misfortune exactly like I'm doing right now. Taric stunned me, but that did absolutely nothing for them in order to just kind of say, get away from me. But I shouldn't be so scared of him. He just used his stun. Right here, I should have been more aggressive right there. I should have been really trying to poke at Misfortune and so that she misses those last hits. League of Legends is a very, very psychological game. It's not just mechanics. It's not just right-clicking and using abilities. It's very psychological. Right there, I actually remember this very clearly. I misclicked totally, and it really cost us. I was trying to right-click on that Taric, but I actually... Lulu just dumped another flash. That was kind of funny. I was trying to right-click on Taric, but I ended up missing my right-click. Just a bit of a derp right there. Another reason why A-clicking is a very strong option. Good job by Lulu to keep Misfortune away from me. Otherwise, we would have really lost this trade. But there was a lot of things there that I was covering. I want to finish my point, though. League of Legends is a very psychological game, and if you're putting your opponent under pressure, every time they go for a last hit, they have to think about whether or not they're going to get auto-attacked by you. That puts a tremendous amount of mental pressure on them, and that is a good thing. That is really something that you want to do. You can see right here, Taric runs in at me. I did A away, but I really did not need to. I should have stayed and fought. Standing your ground and fighting, especially as a pair, if Lulu and I can coincide our damage with one another, that's really strong. So at this point, I'm just trying to lifesteal a little bit, get my health back up. I know I have more. I've got to keep up the sustain because Misfortune has a Taric, getting a nice Q there off, but oh, dang it. Shoot. Okay, that was bad. Let's back this up and let's talk about this. Now, I'm level 6, and so is Misfortune. But it never once entered my mind that she had her ultimate. So let's take a look at how this actually plays out. Because this whole time, I should have been thinking that I've got my ultimate. Right there, when I hit that Q, I actually really thought that I would be in a very strong position. But that perfectly timed Taric stun plus Misfortune ultimate just melted the rest of my HP away. That was something that I really should have accounted for. I should have thought and known that there was definitely a chance that this could have happened. There was definitely a chance that Misfortune could have ulted and Taric could have stunned. I should have been thinking about that. One of the most important things is and one of the best things about knowing lane matchups is that you really want to it's very important that you know the possibilities, that you know all of the possible outcomes and situations that can happen. You know, and in that situation, I just didn't. I didn't account for what could have happened, and it ended up costing me my life. So, a bit of a poor play right there. Now, let's kind of come to grips with where things are at. It's important every once in a while I just kind of take a breath and try to think, you know, where are things going on in this game. So let's pause the game, and it'll influence my decisions definitely big time. Vi is really putting the hurt on Rumble. In the same way, Volibear is quite behind in the jungle. Our mid lane is doing fine, and we're relatively even in bot lane. But the biggest thing that I need to take into account right now is this guy right here. This BF sword from Misfortune is huge. I really need to be taking this into account. Misfortune has 139 damage compared to my 128. That is a pretty big difference at this point in the game. 10 extra damage is nothing to scoff at. I have a lot more lifesteal, so I have a lot more sustain, but she definitely has a lot more damage. So I really need to take that into account anytime I step forward to trade. I need to be very cautious, you know, because anytime Steric gets a stun on me, that could be really devastating for me. And look at this, Taric is just single-handedly zoning me right now. This is not good. This is a very bad situation for me to be in. I don't want to be just sitting here taking these pot shots from Taric. I want to be, you know, if I'm not going to be stepping up in last hitting, I don't want to be taking this kind of harassment from him. So either step up and try to get something done, or back off entirely and don't. Bit of a waste it's done there from Taric. He wasn't really able to follow it up. We're getting some really nice damage off. Nice polymorph right there. Able to... Oh, missed that Q on a Misfortune. Okay, so now Volibear is coming in for a gank, and I'm really curious to see how we play this out. There's a huge minion wave, so I tried to Q, but I definitely missed it. Trying to run in, though, and use my E to try to help get in position for this gank. If he can just get a flip... Oh, but there's the flash from Misfortune. So, another unsuccessful gank. We've had a couple of unsuccessful ganks so far, which has been a bit unlucky, really. Okay, so now Volibear is going into counter jungle. He's not coming back. This would have been a good position for Volibear to go to Tribrush and try to gank again. You know, Misfortune and Taric are here, but Taric was kind of backed off. I really think we could have made something happen, but if you look, a kind of an important thing to think about here is that my mana is quite low. I have, you know, that mana ratio I was talking about, I have about 15% of my mana left, whereas I'm at pretty much maximum health. So that's definitely not the kind of thing you want to be in. Using that Q right there was probably a mistake. Just because I need to be keeping my mana for my E. That's probably the most important thing right now. But there you can see doing a nice job of poking at these guys. If Misfortune's going to go in for a last hit, I'm going to hit her with an auto attack. The trade is very simple, very straightforward. But it's something that is really good, especially with Caitlyn. You really want to abuse that range as much as you can. Your range is your best friend. You cannot buy range. There are very few AD carries that have the type of range that we're talking about. So you really just want to try to abuse it as much as you possibly can. Okay, so at this stage of the game, we're definitely starting to fall behind as a team, but there's really not a lot I can do about it. My job is pretty much just to farm. There's just not too much I can do about those other lanes as an AD carry. I just got to farm it up, and you can see right here, this was definitely a big mistake. Very, got myself in position. Oh, got knocked up again. Very poor job. You can see Volibear's coming in, though. At this point, you can see I'm turning around, trying to help get this in position. If Volibear is going to gank, I want to try to poke these guys down. So getting some auto attacks off onto Jarvan where I can. Going to try to clear out these minions. Like I said, minions do a surprising amount of damage, and so clearing them out can really help you if you're going to want to be making some pressure happen. Using my auto attacks to try to not only last hit, but to regain my health with the lifesteal. Getting some definitely good amount of lifesteal left. Lulu is going to make it out, so going to try to penalize Misfortune a little bit there. Doing a good job of getting these last hits. Nice. Oh, I missed that one. Been able to pick that one up too. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there, and maybe I will continue, but just kind of some basic analysis of the very early laning part of the game. I could have done a better job. You can see right here I'm about 15 CS behind, and I could have definitely done a better job after picking up that early kill of really just kind of asserting my lane dominance. A couple of mistakes. That misclick really was very costly. You know, when I was trying to click on to a Taric, I think that was probably a camera issue more than anything. But those are the types of things that can hurt you. So it's important to just to realize your mistakes and to know what you can do to try to help fix them. But hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll probably do some more of this in the future, maybe even a full-length game. But this was just intended to try to be a short little kind of assessment of my game, a little bit of a critique. And hopefully you guys learned a couple of things about my mindset and my mentality, what I'm trying to do when I play this AD carry role. But hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you again soon. Bye.